There are 3 things that can be making you fail. Welcome back. I'm Gila Ross, host of the Power Up podcast, where we share short, relatable ideas to upgrade and elevate our everyday lives. Someone asked me a question that resonated so strongly with me, and I think it will resonate with all of you. So she shared with me her frustration. She said she's trying so hard to be better, and yet it's almost as if she's sabotaging because she keeps failing, reverting back to where she started from. What's going on? So in this episode, we look at this week's Torah Portion, and it'll give us such a fascinating insight into why we fail. Rebecca, Rivka, one of the foremothers, was the daughter of Besuel, and Besuel was not a nice guy at all. But what's fascinating is that the Torah tells us that she was the daughter of an evil guy. But it doesn't stop there. It also adds that she was the brother of Lavan. And Lavan was also someone who was a swindler, someone who was also not a good guy. Why does it have to tell us both? Why is it not enough to show what she came from, to just explain who her father is? Why does it have to tell us that she also came from a family where her brother was bad? He explains by sharing some insights into human nature. And there's 3 reasons why a person can mess up and fail, why we do things that we know we shouldn't do, when we're trying to be better, when we're trying to grow spiritually, and then we fall. There's 3 reasons why. Number 1 is we can have a certain level of fear, of intimidation, of going against others who we're close to. And there's something we can relate to. We have a peer pressure. We don't want to be the one considered, oh, you're the one that thinks that's so much holier than everyone else. But there's a second reason that why we can fail. And that is because when we're close and we're friendly with people who are not behaving appropriately, in order to connect with them, we will often follow and imitate their behavior. And I think it's something we can relate to, right? We've all been there. Let's be honest, we've all been there in a situation, social situation, where we know we shouldn't be doing X, Y, Z, whether it's gossiping about other people or whether it's having certain conversations or behaving in a certain way. But because everyone, as they say, all the cool kids are doing it, everyone else is doing it, in order to feel part of that, we do it too. And there's a third reason, and that is if a certain society behaves a certain way, then we follow along. It's really, really hard to break away and behave differently than the society that we are part of. So our 3 failure traps are: number 1, we're afraid to be different than those we're close to. Number 2, we behave in a certain way in order to connect to people. And number 3, it's really hard to be different than the society we're part of. And this is what the Torah is teaching us about Rebecca, that she had a level of respect for her father. At the end of the day, he was a father. But she didn't let her make that fail. She didn't let that make her fail. Secondly, she easily could have copied her brother's bad behavior. It's natural to want to have a close relationship with her siblings and to behave in a certain way to connect with him. But she also didn't let that make her fail. And she grew up in a city that was corrupt. And she didn't let the peer pressure of the society that she grew up in cause her to fail either. She was able to break away from these human natures, the tendency to copy those that we respect, the tendency to connect through the behaviors to other people, and the tendency to want to fit into society. She was able to break through all of those and become the foremother of the Jewish people. And by doing that, she shows us that even though these three tendencies, the tendency to be afraid of doing different than those that we're close by, or the tendency to imitate in order to connect, and the tendency to fit into society, she shows us that even though they are so natural to us, we have the capacity to overcome that and to do the right thing and become better. Which one of these three are you struggling with at the moment the most? And what can you do in order to overcome that? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I'd love to hear what you thought. You can get in touch with me. You can find me on Instagram at @GilaRoss. And please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. Thank you and have a wonderful day.